The month of January was relatively dry for both the north and south of the island, and as a result, the national outlook coming out of the St. Lucia Met Services indicates that rainfall will be in the normal to below normal category through to April 2015. The Standard Precipitation Index, a simple index that uses rainfall and is calculated over a 30-year period, reveals that the island is going through a dry spell. Information emanating from WASCO shows that there is a severe reduction in the raw water supplies throughout the island. The south of the island is experiencing challenging conditions, especially in the communities of Lower and Upper Saltibus, Bellevue, Ruby, Fort-Saint-Jacques, Denier Riviere, Grace, and Tomazo. WASCO uses flows over the spillway of the John Compton Dam in Millet as an indicator of water availability, and at present there is no flow over the spillway. Data from the Water Resource Management Agency indicate that the rivers are presently experiencing significantly decreased flows, and this trend is expected to continue through to April 2015. Individuals and communities are therefore called upon to implement water conservation practices. And now for the CTV Environmental Watch with Dennis Springer.
Over the last few weeks, we have looked at the effects of global warming and climate change and the effects of drought which we are now experiencing, regardless of the minute amount of rain that has been falling. I therefore want to remind you, the people of St. Lucia, young and old, that anthropogenic climate change has become a major threat to countries around the world. Based on scientific findings and observations, the recently published fifth assessment report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change clearly indicates that our climate system is warming with increasing greenhouse gas concentrations. Declining snow and ice, although we have witnessed a vast amount of snow and ice in certain parts of the United States, we are also witnessing sea level rising and higher overall temperature in the atmosphere. According to the fifth assessment report, it is evident that human activity has had a profound impact on our climate system, and that this impact has grown over the years. The report emphasizes the need for substantial and sustained greenhouse gas emissions reductions in order to combat climate change. It has become clear that even with an immediate half of greenhouse gas emissions, climate change will last for many centuries. By the evidence of this report, there is no doubt a need for a long-term commitment to deal with the challenges posed by climate change. We need it. We have seen and witnessed the severity of climate change, and it's important to make the point that no country is immune to its impact. There should be no doubt in our minds that climate change is a phenomenal problem that requires changes to our current lifestyle and therefore a strong commitment to greenhouse gas emissions reductions, as well as participation and cooperation of all countries, including St. Lucia, is required. As small as we are, we must pursue greenhouse gas emission reductions domestically. We must also be ready and willing to contribute to international efforts aimed at finding feasible solutions. Many of us have seen the devastating effects of climate change this winter in the United States and Europe, whether it be snow, ice, or drought in some parts of America. We're also seeing it in the Caribbean and elsewhere. Therefore, we must make every effort to sensitize the public to the devastating effect of global warming and climate change, especially in small island states, due to sea level rise. As a responsible member of the international community, St. Lucia must make every effort to reduce emissions and must be ready to work with the UNFCCC, which is the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, to fight against climate change in accordance with international law. St. Lucia must therefore undergo a socio-economic transformation to create a green economy and achieve sustainable development. We must also make every effort to join the Global Climate Network so as to exchange ideas and share experiences concerning climate change. Government must also seek to not only substantially reduce carbon emissions in the energy, manufacturing, transportation, and construction sectors, but also change people's lifestyles. There must be a collaboration between the public and private sector if we are to achieve any success in our fight against climate change and global warming. St. Lucia and other Caribbean countries must launch nationally appropriate mitigation actions, highlighting our determination to promote low-carbon energy development, reduce demand for fossil fuels, enhance energy security, seek new opportunities for low-carbon technologies, create green jobs, design blueprints for the establishment of a low-carbon society, and adhere to international conventions. Further to that, there must be adaptation strategies with regard to natural disasters, basic infrastructure, water resources, land use, coastal management, energy supply, industry, agriculture, biodiversity, and public health. Raising public awareness is therefore crucial if we are to combat global warming and climate change.